SVP TV.
Looking for something new? We thought so. SVP is mixing things up, and digital TV, it'll never be the same.
SVP TV, we're family. We're gonna make you fall in love with SVP.
Download the SVP app today on Roku, Apple, and Fire TV. Watch us. You know why?
We're gonna make you fall in love with SVP TV.
I'm JB Smiley Jr. I grew up singing this song in church. You may know it as well. While the melodies may differ, its message of peace, freedom, and justice for all people unites us as Tennesseans. I grew up in Memphis, in one of the poorest zip codes in the state. But my shot out was perfecting this shot and going to college on both an academic and basketball scholarship. Then I got a law degree to help give back, and I am proudly serving my community on the Memphis City Council. I decided to run for governor because right now there are too many shots fired, not enough shots given, and too few shots for our young people to reach their full potential. As governor, I will reduce crime by implementing a robust community policing program. I will encourage folks across this state to do right by each other. That means getting vaccinated. And I will make it a priority to give our young people a real shot at success. So today, I'm hoping you all will come and go with me. Let's go build a better Tennessee together.
Tune in to Talking Law with Attorney Darrell O'Neill and the special guest host, Attorney Jerome Payne. Live TV talk on your digital device, on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV. Download the SVP TV app right now. Check us out every Tuesday on Comcast Cable, Channel 17, 8:30 p.m. And we are live every Friday on Facebook Live, 6 o'clock in the evening. You've got a question? Our attorneys have the answer. So let's talk law with Attorney Darrell O'Neill on the SVP TV network.
Welcome to Talking Law with Darrell O'Neill. I'm your host. I got my main man with Jerome.
What's up, Darrell?
What's up, man? Another day in the neighborhood.
Absolutely, man.
Man, oh man, I want to talk trash to you today, man. You know, but we legal trash.
Darrell, we're hurting so bad. We're hurting so bad to see something like this occur. So,
yeah,
I'm gonna fasten my seatbelt.
Okay, well,
and go on with you.
Let's do something, man. Hey, Facebook, welcome. Good to see you. YouTube, good to see you. Facebook, YouTube, number 244-6874. If you got a question, you can call in and ask. I mean, we'll pick the phone up and answer any question you have.
Absolutely.
If you got Roku, Fire Stick, Apple TV, or the SVP TV app, you can watch the show at any time when you want to and live. And you can watch it live.
Exactly.
So we got to say welcome to our visiting audience of California, Little Rock, Arkansas, West Memphis, Shelby County, Memphis, Mississippi, and Mom to the great state of Missouri. Yeah, she's still here, Jerome. I'm holding on with both hands, Mom. You can't go nowhere.
I sure don't blame you, man.
Hey, Jerome, I wanted to talk to you about something, and I wonder if the citizens are complacent because they don't understand the ramifications.
That's great, Darrell. That was a great intro.
And the question I'm asking is, do you think people understand the you said your words, the trickle down effect ramifications of overturning Roe v. Wade?
Darrell, I really don't think that they do. Well, the outrage, you know what? And I think about, you just made me think about something. You know, the fact that the draft was leaked about maybe a month and a half or 2 months before it actually came out, took away all the rage, all the fire, and all the energy that would have happened right now, because that's closer to the election times. In fact, that was brilliant, wasn't it? I'm just not thinking that was probably strategy. They probably leaked it themselves.
And so, you know, you're here, and I have a bunch of friends that, you know, that go all over this place. So, you know, Catholics say that killing anyone, whether it be a baby for any reasons, or even a death penalty, is improper. So a Catholic normally does not support the abortions, nor do they support the death penalty. Killing somebody is inappropriate across the line. Okay? And you gotta, and I'm saying it to you, Jerome, for a reason.
I understand.
It's a contradiction to say, I don't want the death of babies, but I want the death of people that commit crime.
But there, I think you have to be a little careful. You said it. You said it several times already. Babies, they don't consider that as being a baby because it's not able to survive on its own. So that's why they call it what they do.
Right.
Yeah.
And you know, again, so
a baby, sure, and don't you dare kill a baby, but to do a fetus that's not able to survive on its own, that's a different story.
well,
There.
so
And so what they've done is that they've conflated the term to say baby. In reality, it's not. It's a fertilized egg that
So-
has the possibility of turning into a child if it's taken to term.
okay, so you a chicken or the egg guy?
Well, I'm just no. I'm just going with the science.
Okay.
You see,
Okay, because that's where that goes to me.
Yes.
That's the chicken or the egg.
the science
Yeah.
is clear. The science is clear. Without a fetus growing in a womb for a certain period of time, it will not survive, and thus the term "it."
Yeah.
You follow me?
Right.
All right.
Well, that's the old adage, and that's a deeper conversation that we can have today.
Okay.
And that is, where does life begin?
Yes.
You know, again, Catholics, it begins a sperm.
At conception. Is that
Yeah,
what they're saying?
it's a sperm.
Yeah.
So, you know, they don't even believe in contraceptions. You understood that, did you?
I do know that.
So again, the when they're taking it all the way to the end.
I got you.
You know, so I mean, and what I'm saying to you is, you don't want to have a contradiction. If you're saying that taking a life for whatever reason, and I don't want to get into where does that life begin,
Okay.
because that's the chicken or the egg,
Okay.
you know.
Okay.
Because we can start whether it begins, doing having sex.
Okay.
you know.
Doing the actual.
And an accident, you know. So I mean, we can go.
Interesting.
We can go to infinity on that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, go ahead. I got you on that.
But what we all, and I don't like to do this, but I'm going to say this now. We all are going to have to deal with our maker at some point.
I like that.
We all are going to have to do it, Jerome. And whether you do an abortion, whether you kill somebody, whether you lie, steal, whatever, because a sin is a sin regardless of how big, small, they're all bad.
Right. That's right.
So we're all going to have to atone, or we're all going to have to deal with it at some point.
I agree.
But the question becomes, and that's where I struggle personally. I don't want to be the person that tells you what you can and cannot do.
I like that.
Because if the rule is,
I like that.
because this is what we get from the Bible: free will.
Mm-hmm.
Free will to make whatever decision you want to make.
Mm-hmm.
And what free will becomes consequences.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's free will for you to make a decision, how do I get in the middle of the decision that you make?
But that's really not a good analogy because there's only one side.
I get that.
Do you follow what I'm saying?
No, I get that.
In other words, Men are free to have the free will conversation, but women are not.
But see, and that's where you are.
Yes.
I mean, and here's where people have to think about this, and nobody hasn't thought about this. There wasn't a time that women had no rights.
That's right.
The woman's rights was whatever the man said.
That's right.
Did the Roe versus Wade, overturning Roe versus Wade, did it take us back to women have no rights? Because I mean, you can cut away to that. You can keep cutting away. I've just taking your right to decide to choose on what you're going to do with your body. I took that away, and guess what? You ain't got no choice in it. You ain't got no say in it.
That's right.
Because that's what that decision said.
That's right.
I am saying you can't do it. I'm saying you can't make a decision like this. And if you don't like it, tough.
Tough titty.
Tough titty. You don't like it, tough titty. So that's the first step, Jerome.
Yes.
That people hadn't even considered. But let's take it a little further, Jerome.
Okay.
There's a class of people that say we should not have social services. You know what I mean when I say that?
Of course.
I know you do.
Yeah, support a
Do we-
family who's struggling
So
with
welfare
food.
shouldn't exist.
Yeah. With food insecurity.
Food incentive programs
Yes,
shouldn't.
that's right.
The WIC
The WIC
programs.
program, yes.
Any of those programs should
Unemployment insurance.
Unemployment insurance. None of that should exist.
Workers' compensation.
Workers' compensation. None of that should exist.
Yes.
Because because but I want to take away those other ones, the workers' comp and the
Right,
unemployment.
right.
But every one of those except for workers' comp and unemployment falls from the ramification of having children.
Okay, I got you.
Because when you have children, you have to be able to be responsible for them. That's
right.
That's what happens.
That's right.
And so if you have to have this child and you can't afford this child, then the programs are supposed to help you. But there's a class of people that say, once you have that baby, you're on your own.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
So, I mean, have we considered the ramifications? Again, I just took you to the first step, Joe.
Yes.
The first step is, hey, lady, I'm taking your rights away from you. And guess what? You got that to deal with.
And even if the child was conceived by incest, by rape,
It don't even
no,
matter.
that doesn't matter.
It don't
you
even matter.
still gonna
You
take
gon'
this child.
that's
you gonna
what
bear this child.
that doesn't matter.
That's right. And even it's a possibility.
You know how detrimental, because I don't, same-sex marriage,
privacy in your
privacy,
home, whether you want to make love to whoever you want to make love to.
what's the other one?
Interracial marriage. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
so
Right.
all of those.
Well, there are even more than that. Civil rights.
Rights.
for African American and Black people.
We again, if we trend it right, if we get the right case,
That's exactly right.
if we get the right case,
and they determined that using the interstate commerce laws was improper in order to enact the civil rights. It could be overturned as well,
well, yeah.
because that's basically how most of the
That is.
Civil Rights Act.
Well,
got
not the
passed.
civil rights.
Okay.
That's mostly how Title VII came in.
Okay.
See, the civil rights statutes were 1800.
That's what you said there,
Yeah,
but they were meaningless.
They were meaningless. They were.
You're right. It was.
I'm sorry.
Right, it was
they
bad.
existed,
Yeah.
but they just didn't have no teeth.
No teeth at all.
And nobody paid no attention to
Look,
them.
they just kind of like, it's kind of like when a kid, when you're reading in class, you skip 2 or 3 different lines and you pick up again because you recognize the words in the other line.
Yeah.
That's what they were doing. It was on the books, but nobody paid attention to it, just like it wasn't even there.
And, but here's the other part. How do you enforce these laws?
That's interesting because there are a lot of attorney generals saying that they're not going to enforce them. Because remember, let's do this even there. First of all, we got to realize too that it's not a federal law. It's state
This is
control.
state control.
That's why you got different laws that you can cross the state line and it's okay, and you go to another. That's the kind of thing that we were trying to avoid.
Yeah.
Having different rules all over the different places, but it's states
Well, let's I'm
called
glad you
states'
said that.
rights.
But maybe not.
Yeah.
Check this out.
Okay.
If Tennessee has an anti-abortion statute, right? Which,
Right.
And they actually do.
They do.
They just triggered. If they have an anti-abortion statute, and you're a Tennessee resident, and you leave Tennessee and go to another state and have one, when you come back to Tennessee,
That's exactly right.
Didn't you still violate
Well,
Tennessee?
well, you could be charged.
Yeah. Didn't you still violate Tennessee law?
I think they're trying to work on that there.
I'm just trying to.
I think they're trying to work on that where if you do cross state line in order to have an abortion, when you come back, you're not going to be subjected to being charged for doing that. So they're working on that. But right now we got what? Tennessee, Arkansas, Mississippi,
yeah.
Kentucky.
Kentucky, Missouri, I think. Missouri? No, Missouri don't have a
I don't
trigger.
think Missouri does.
No, but Kentucky.
Does Kentucky have it?
Yeah, Kentucky has one. I think Kentucky does have one.
Kentucky is blue.
No, Kentucky is red.
Okay.
No, man, Kentucky is red. That's where
Miss McConnell's there,
Yeah.
but they got a Democratic governor.
Now?
In some parts, yeah, in Kentucky.
I didn't know they had.
Yeah, they had
I know
Democratic
they.
governor. But they talked about how there are more Republicans now who are registered this particular term, but they had a Democratic governor.
I mean, that's times. Over the years, we've had one or two.
Yes,
Democratic governors.
That's true.
Yeah, so
but they were really powerless, so to speak, because the legislature was overwhelmingly Republican.
Yeah. I just really want to have that conversation, because to what end? Excuse me, to what end? And because what people, and here's the other thing. A lot of these things, they affect me. They affect us.
Of course, sure.
Not us like me and you.
Right,
But they
right.
affect people that look like us.
Right.
And the reason why I say that is, and it affects people that can't afford. Because if you can't afford to go across one of these lines, right? You got
You're stuck.
you got some real issues that you're going to have to be dealing with.
That's right.
You got a real scenario that you got to figure out. I don't know. Robert said in his concurrence that the majority believe that overwhelmingly that the decision they made, that they on the right, they're in the right, and that the dissenters overwhelmingly believe that they are in the right. And I don't know which one, because the question really becomes this: do you have a constitutional right to privacy?
To be left alone.
Yeah. Do you have a constitutional right to privacy? And I don't know the answer to the question.
Well, my answer is yes.
That would be most people's answer.
Right.
I'm sorry.
Right.
There'll be a lot of people's answer.
Yeah, right.
But, and I don't know the answer to that, but what I do know is this. You and I went to law school, and the only thing that we ever learned in law school was precedents.
That's right.
Stare decisis.
Right.
If it's a decision that's in there and it's been around for whatever, it should stay in place.
True.
There are some decisions, because I think, was it Plessy?
Plessy versus Ferguson, yeah.
And that was a 7-1 decision.
Right.
Versus Ferguson that said you could have separate but equal schools.
Right.
But you could have separate but equal facilities, separate for equal everything.
Right.
Brown versus Board of Education was really more about the education, separate but equal educational systems.
Right.
and it reversed the educational system, which actually reversed all the other separate equal issues.
Yeah, but Plessis versus Ferguson said that a black person had no rights that had to be respected by a white person.
Yeah.
Nothing. There's nothing that they could say or do had to be garner respect from a white person. And so that's so clearly wrong when you put it when you take that and put it on top of the Constitution, it does not fit anywhere. And so that was clearly wrong. But this new ruling by the Supreme Court now about Roe versus Wade, it's totally different. And the good thing about it, O'Dara, is women can turn that thing around just like that.
They really could.
Because they're more than 51% of the people in the United States and the voters. And if they, like you said, they're so, what's the first words you used? Is that they were so, I can't think of the words you used when we first introduced it, that they're so, something that makes them allow this to go on, and then maybe that's what they want there. Because women can reverse it.
Well,
by getting rid of these people who put people into office who believe that way.
Yeah, well, you have not. Look, I used to tell people, I don't tell jokes, or I don't even listen to jokes with people that are not my friends. I'm talking about that are absolutely somebody that I'm just cool with. You know that?
I got you.
And here's the reason why. It always go one joke too far. It you start talking about the lawyer. Next thing you know, you're gonna have we doing black jokes.
I like that, Darrell.
We don't
I like that.
So what here we are pinching away from women's abilities, women's rights. I mean, I understand it. I understand trying to protect this life, okay, or this potential life. I understand that. But I also understand protecting that life that a criminal has made that's done something. I do understand protecting that life too. So if you look at the spectrums, you have to be consistent throughout the spectrum.
I agree.
But both of those things affect people that look like us.
I agree.
There's more people that die through the death penalty that were wrongfully convicted that look like us.
That's right.
Than anybody else.
That's right.
This here is going to affect more people that look like us because it did before than anybody else.
That's exactly right, Darrell.
So this is not a black-white issue, okay? This is a socioeconomic issue. But more importantly, this really is a woman's issue. I don't think any man should be walking around telling a woman what they can and cannot do.
I agree with you on that.
And what we just did was let 5 white men tell women what they could do.
Right.
Because that's the Supreme Court that voted on this was 5 white men and 1 white woman.
Right. And there they were waiting.
Yeah.
Because they didn't want to do it all men. They wanted there to be a woman who was involved in reversing.
Yeah. So that's the point that again.
And then we got to sit here and beg people to go to the polls. Have you voted yet?
Man,
are you planning to vote?
Man, you better go out and vote. But that's it,
Darrell. Why do we have to beg people to go and vote when it's so much involved? Why?
And that's exactly why we are where we are right now.
That's exactly right. That's how we got here.
Because complacency.
Yes, that's the word you used.
Yeah.
That was so complacent.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Complacency.
Yes.
Man, it hits black people more complacent than probably any other, nationality that's on this earth.
But Darrell, they don't see how their lives have been changed by the people that they elect. So why should they're going to do whatever they want to do anyway? And we get a ruling like that, doesn't that prove just that?
Yeah. I mean, And I guess the problem here is, Shelby County being the largest county and which is primarily a Democratic county, but it's not it's not enough.
Of the city of Memphis. Nashville said, "Oh yes, you do. You gonna get them anyway,
Yeah.
right?"
Yeah.
Memphis had in their contracts that you had to pay a living wage in order to get a contract. Nashville said, "Oh no, you don't have to pay. You can pay slave wages." And so we got to figure out a way to be able, taxation without representation has always been an issue. And that's what we have to do, is figure out how can we make our politicians be responsive to what we as we say. Now, Darrell, they got the term limits again back on. This is the third time we've had it on it. We've said no twice. And now careers.
Yeah.
Out of being politicians.
Yeah.
It was never designed for that. It was designed for you to come serve, make your impact, and then leave and allow somebody else to come behind you.
Yeah. All right, y'all. Well, we talked a little bit and we talked a lot.
Good show.
Yeah. And sorry y'all didn't call in and ask any questions. We'll bring you a new topic.
Not enough shots given, and too few shots for our young people to reach their full potential. As governor, I will reduce crime by implementing a robust community policing program. I will encourage folks across this state to do right by each other. That means getting vaccinated. And I will make it a priority to give our young people a real shot at success. So today, I'm hoping you all will come and go with me. Let's go build a better Tennessee together.
Hello, Shelby County. My name is George Dempsey Summers. I am running for the Register of Deeds in the upcoming general election. I'm a lifelong Memphian, married of 20 years. I am currently employed with Shelby County government of 10 years. Prior to that, I was employed with the Memphis City Schools for 31 years. I have been behind the scenes working to serve the community for over 41 years. The reason why I'm running for office is the law on the books needs to be changed. Here in Shelby County, quitclaim deeds are being forged and filed in the Register of Deeds office. That means they are stealing your property. I am asking for your vote to stop the steal. Vote for me, George Dempsey Summers. Early voting, July the 15th. Election day, August the 4th. Stop the steal. Vote George Dempsey Summers, Register of Deeds.